the Conservatives posted this today, and I'm just in awe of how phenomenally out of touch they are. They're riding around 16 to 20% in the polls at the moment, as in lower than I've ever seen them in my entire life. And so they're like, oh, the dialectic in the UK is against immigration. Keir Starmer has come out and said it caused incalculable damage. And this blip of mass immigration that was brought in by the Conservatives, but also by Labour, will go down as a strange event in history. And it's like, yeah, maybe. So the Conservatives are like, deport all illegal immigrants. Every single one. Sorry, do you forget who you are? Do you forget that literally it was only 6 months ago you were in go? Well, 9 months ago, something like that now. But do you forget that you were in power for 14 years throughout the worst of the mass migration into Britain, particularly England? Do you forget, Conservatives? Do you think we forget, Conservatives? I mean, do you think that we forget that just a year ago, you were putting illegal invaders into our country, into hotels, which cost us 15 million a day. So something like 4.3 billion overall per year was spent putting these, and 90% men by your own figures, into hotels at our expense. Do you forget? Have you forgotten? Have you banged your heads? Do you have dementia? Is there something wrong with the people running your party? You have absolutely no credibility on this issue. There's nothing that anyone wants to hear from the Conservatives on. Weirdly enough, and I never thought I'd be the person saying this, I never thought this would be something that could reasonably said, the Labour Party are more credible on immigration than the Conservatives. And it was the Labour Party that began the rule of mass immigration and imposed the human rights laws upon us. All the things that have made legally it necessary for you to do this were imposed by Labour, and yet they are still more credible than you on the subject of mass immigration. It is just, honestly, staggering that there's anyone left in the Conservative Party, frankly. I mean, aren't you embarrassed to be a part of the Conservative Party at this point? Like, the tremendous damage that the Conservatives have done to Britain, hand in hand with the Labour Party, it's being like, yeah, no, we're gonna ruin this country. And everyone knows, but right. You walk around, you talk to normal people. Like, I use public transport a lot. And so I'll end up talking to people on the train or taxi drivers or whoever, and you just scratch the surface. You'd be like I the other day I was talking to a guy on the train, and he was just like, yeah, this has just all gone so badly wrong, hasn't it? I was just like, yeah, he didn't know who I was. It's just long train journey, we just ended up talking about stuff. And people want to talk about it. People want to talk about just how badly wrong the country has gone, why things are so bad. But the thing is, and I know what you're doing here, you're like, hey, right, like literally 75% of the country just think every illegal immigrant in the country should be deported. Yep. Pretty safe bet, really. I mean, there's just no argument, really, is there? There's no real argument in favor of illegal immigrants should be allowed to break into your country, and then you should put them up in hotels for £15 million a day. Right? There's no argument for it. There is you being absolute cuckolds and afraid of left-wing activists and Labour going, but what about their human rights? And you should have been like, no, deport them all. What are they doing here? But you didn't. You took our money and gave it to them. But the problem is actually not so much the illegals. Now, I know you're being like, oh, deport all illegal immigrants, because this gives you a smokescreen, a lovely little smokescreen to hide the fact that the problem is not the illegals, it's the legal immigrants. These are the figures since, as you can see, the early 90s, where we had a net negative of arrivals minus departures. We had an immigration policy back in the early 90s, back when this country was like 95% native. And then from about 1997 onwards, bam, you see it creeping up. Then the Tories take over, and it stays basically the same. And then during COVID, it plummets. And then for some reason, unbelievable, skyrocketing numbers of non-European legal immigrants under the Conservatives, to the point where Keir Starmer, under the auspices of Tony Blair, has come in and gone, oh, right, so you're destroying the Blairite project of mass immigration. of the cramming this country full of foreigners. That was meant to take 30 years. You did it in 3 years. What are you, mad? People are going to be like, we don't want any more immigration at all if we don't tamp this down. You're going to throw the whole thing into disarray through incompetence. And understand that it may even be by accident, as Morgoth put it, rubbing the left's nose in diversity. You are going to undo the Blairite project through incompetence. And this is a genuine problem. Because Keir Starmer, I nearly said Tony Blair, has had to come out and be like, right, we're going to change indefinite leave to remain. So if you've been here for 5 years, you just get to stay here and become a citizen for some reason. I don't know why we do this. And then he's increased it to 10 years because because these millions will be able to just stay here forever if they don't do something. Now, really, what they should be doing is just basically revoking the visas of everyone who came in the last 3 years. Right? That's what they should do. They should be like, look, you shouldn't have been allowed in. It was under an irresponsible Conservative government that you were allowed to come here en masse in such wild numbers. They should just be like, no, sorry, you've got to leave, I'm afraid. Visa revoked, go home. But of course, they're not going to do that. So again, like hiding behind the illegals not good, but illegals and asylum seekers in total is something like 300,000, right, including the Ukrainians, who are actual asylum seekers, women and children, who I actually am very happy to help because they're in the middle of a war. But like grifters from Somalia and Asia, where there is no war, and they're just like, they're going to give us money and allow us to wander around near schools. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Deport them all instantly. You've missed the boat on that. You used to be in government for 14 years until there were just too many knives in our back and we couldn't take it anymore. Anyway, the reason that I bring all of this up is because Jacob Rees-Mogg's like, well, Keir Starmer appears to have completely changed his mind about immigration. Should we believe him? Oh, is it just Keir Starmer who's completely changed his mind about immigration, is it? And the thing is, I do believe Keir Starmer more than I believe the Conservatives on this. I don't see why Keir Starmer is committed to mass immigration. I think Keir Starmer is committed to the stability of the system. And this is instability. One thing you'll hear constantly from Keir Starmer's mouth is control. We need control of the system. We need control of immigration. We need control of this, inflation, or whatever it is, right? Control, control, control. Keir Starmer is a man of the system. He wants the system to exist forever. We live, as far as Keir Starmer is concerned, for the system. And if the system is damaged because of radical immigration policies, the Conservative Party would just like, yeah, crank that up. So literally, I mean, look at this, over 1 million. Over 1 million. You are mad. Absolutely mad. And be like, yeah, you can't trust that Keir Starmer. Well, I mean, I agree, but I trust him more than you. Why would I trust a Conservative on mass immigration? And they're like, it's crazy. Oh, well, the Conservative MP's like, oh, yeah, we made a catastrophic error on immigration, says Sir Edward Ley, one Tory MP. It's like, catastrophic error? Sorry, it's just an error to do just like 3 times, 4 times more than has ever been done before. I don't think it's an error. I don't think you can just chalk that up to incompetence. I mean, that seems to be open malice, right? That seems to be, you wanted to rub our noses in diversity, as Tony Blair's advisor put it, and, well, consider our noses severely rubbed. And now you're down at what, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20% in the polls? And I'm shocked that you can even find 1 in 5 people who would consider voting for you. And so the Conservatives, we need to rebuild trust. Here's our new immigration policy. Under my new leadership. Oh, wait, who's that? Right, because that's right. The Conservatives had a leadership election, and they had a choice. They had Robert Generic, basically. The most boring, straight white man in the world. English, and he's come out hard against immigration. He's someone that you might be able to believe is against immigration, because maybe Robert Generic cares about Britain, cares about England, cares about the future of what the country looks like for his children. Instead, the Conservative Party elected a Yoruba woman. Because, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, Kemi Badenoch's Nigerian. And Kemi's like, no, I'm not. I am Yoruba. Okay, what's that? Well, that's the southern tribes of Nigeria. Now, they have ethnic enemies, as Kemi Badenoch informed us. They have ethnic enemies in the northern Islamic tribes of Nigeria. So, they're kind of like the English and the Scots, except there's a lot more terrorism involved. And so this means that if she becomes the leader of the United Kingdom, does this Yoruba woman give us a suite of ethnic enemies from Nigeria now? So do we have to be worried about the Nigerians in Britain actually hating the Yoruba woman who's in charge? And I don't know, God only knows what they do. If they do anything like that they do in Nigeria, then it'll be terrorism, right? Like, because they're Islamic extremists, a lot of them. So it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? Like, why would the Conservative Party, the membership themselves, decide that they need an African woman in charge of their party in an era where everyone is furious at the Conservatives for betraying the electorate by opening the floodgates and just absolutely filling the country with something like 4 million immigrants in 3 years? Like, why the fuck would we want to vote for you? Like, what do you think you are doing rubbing diversity in our faces? It's just so, it's so bizarre that these people are so phenomenally out of touch and show such little contrition in the face of the damage that they have done to this country. They cannot be trusted at all. They are a party of traitors. Moreover, they are a party of kind of quislings. All they are, the Labour Party in blue, authentically living Labour's dream, because you'll notice that the Labour Party have only ever been led by straight white men, and you'll remember that Labour, let's get that graph up again, Labour were pretty actually conservative with the net amount, going up to about 250, 300,000, and like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you are living the Labour dream for them. You've got the most diversity. You've got the most immigrants. You have the most spending on asylum seekers. You've got the most that's ever been spent on the NHS. The most of everything Labour say they want is what the Conservative Party is. And then Keir Starmer just comes out and rug pulls you because all this time you've been looking for little head pats from Labour. Oh, aren't you good, little left-wingers, is what you want the Labour Party to say, which is baffling considering you're meant to be a right-wing party. But of course you're not. You're a party of left-wing traitors, and everyone can see you for what you are.